Level 1. The empty life. You're still awake. It's 2 a.m. You're scrolling through nothing, watching lives that look better than yours. You tell yourself you're just tired. You're not tired. You're numb. Imagine a job that doesn't need you, one that would replace you in a week if you just disappeared. Imagine an apartment full of furniture you didn't really choose. You ordered it because a catalog told you to. Imagine looking completely fine on paper and feeling completely empty everywhere else. This story doesn't start with a fight. It starts with a man who can't sleep. Level 2. The man who blew it up. He goes to a doctor. The doctor tells him nothing's wrong. So he goes to a support group for the dying, just to feel something real for an hour. And it works. Strangers cry on his shoulder. For the first time in months, he sleeps. On a plane home, he meets a stranger. A man who says exactly what he's thinking, out loud. A soap salesman with a confidence you can't fake. You're either born with it, or you build it out of desperation. That night, his apartment explodes. Every catalog-perfect thing he owned, gone in one blast. Level 3. The first punch. He has nowhere left to go, so he calls the only number he has. He moves into a crumbling house on a street nobody else wants. And somehow, it feels like home, more than that apartment ever did. One night, the stranger asks him to hit him. Not spar, hit him, for real. He does. Something happens in his chest that hasn't happened in years. Not comfort, not calm, real pain. And it feels like waking up. Here's the first real lesson. Growth rarely happens in comfort. It happens in the exact moment you'd normally quit. The moment you'd normally just go home. Level 4. The rule. More men start showing up. One rule comes before anything else. Whatever happens in that room stays in that room. Every week, a basement fills up with men who are invisible all week. Accountants, waiters, guys nobody looks at twice. In that basement, for 1 hour, they stop being invisible. Imagine a room where every face has the same look, like they just woke up from a sleepwalking life. That's the part people miss about this story. It was never really about fighting. It was about finding one place where you're allowed to feel instead of perform. Level 5. The mirror. Somewhere along the way, he notices something strange about the man who built all of this with him. The stranger never seems to sleep. He shows up and disappears without any explanation. He brushes it off. Bigger problems now. Her name is Marla. She showed up at the same fake support groups, faking the exact same grief. He hated her instantly because she was a mirror. Nobody wants a mirror when they're pretending to be fine. Somehow, she ends up with the stranger instead. He hears them through the walls at night. He resents it more than he'll admit, because some part of him wanted to be chosen too. A lot of people get this lesson backwards. They think the goal is to become fearless like him, but keeping everyone at a distance isn't fearless. It's just a different kind of hiding. Level 6. The fire spreads. The basement isn't big enough anymore. 2 guys in a parking lot is now dozens of cities, all following the same one rule, all reporting back to the same house. Homework assignments start now. Small acts of chaos, aimed at a world built on catalogs. Imagine watching an idea you built grow past you. It doesn't need you to keep growing anymore. You built the fire. Now it burns on its own and doesn't ask permission. Level 7. The blackout. New arrivals fill the house now. Just a bag packed and nothing else. Willing to give up their names completely, just for the chance to matter to something. The tasks get bigger, riskier. He starts losing track of days. He wakes up somewhere unfamiliar, with no memory of how he got there. People call him Sir now, like he gave orders he doesn't remember giving. Imagine being told you already approved a plan you don't remember approving at all. This part, people rarely apply to their own lives, but they really should. The version of you that grows fastest can be dangerous. The moment it stops answering to the rest of you. Confidence without self-awareness isn't strength, it's just recklessness in a better outfit. Level 8. The chase. He starts chasing the stranger across the country, always arriving right after the man leaves. Bartenders recognize his face instantly and call him by the stranger's name. At first, he thinks it's a mistake. Then it happens again and again. Imagine telling someone your real name, and they look at you like you're the confused one. Finally, in a hotel room, the stranger answers him, calm, almost gentle about it. The two of them have never been seen together, not once, not ever. He was never someone met on a plane. He never moved into that house at all. He was built out of every year spent invisible, every year spent polite, tired, and quiet. Level 9. The truth. Here's the real twist of this story, and it has nothing to do with plot. The most fearless version of you was never someone you had to go meet. He's already inside you, built from every moment you swallowed your fear. Every time you shrank yourself to keep the peace, you fed him a little more. The scary part isn't that he exists, it's what happens if you let him run everything alone. The plan is already moving now. Buildings across the city, wired to come down. Every debt anyone owes, about to disappear. In one night, on purpose, to reset everything to zero. He tries to stop it, but his own hands work against him at every turn. He realizes there's only one way to stop it. Stop pretending the fearless version is separate at all. Imagine one room left where both versions of you can finally meet. The only place they can finally be alone together. Level 10. The choice. The buildings start to fall, outside the window, one by one. Marla stands beside him, confused, terrified, waiting for an explanation he isn't sure how to give. He built this fearless version of himself because he needed him, and now he has to decide who's left standing, once the fire finally burns out. So here's the real lesson underneath all of this, the one that matters more than the twist. You don't need to blow up your apartment to change your life. You don't need to burn a building down to feel something real, but you do need to stop outsourcing your courage to some future version of you who's somehow braver. That version isn't out there waiting to be found. He's already in you, buried under years of playing it safe. Every time you avoid a hard conversation, you're feeding the wrong side of yourself. Every time you numb out instead of sitting with it, you're feeding the wrong side of yourself again. But every time you take one small, real risk, the version of you that stops hiding gets stronger. The trick here isn't building a separate, wilder self and letting him take over completely. It's to stop splitting yourself in half in the first place. Take the courage, take the honesty, take the willingness to feel pain instead of numbing it. But leave the chaos and the isolation behind. Leave the need to destroy everything just to feel alive. You don't need a Tyler Durden to show up on a plane and rescue you from your own life. You need to stop waiting for permission to become the version of you that was never actually afraid. That version has been sitting quietly inside you this entire time. All he's ever needed was for you to stop talking yourself out of showing up.